Well, get those phones ready and go ahead and call us because it's time to get those legal questions answered. The number is 256-536-0077. Call us or text us at that same number. Michael Timberlake from our friends over at Timberlake League and Brooks joining us right now. While we wait for that first call, Michael, a lot of folks on fall break this week. There are some things folks need to know in case somebody gets hurt on vacation.
Yeah, I'm like the man on deck. Me and our associate Bobby Marsh are the only ones in the office. Everybody's gone. So we're trying to cover all the bases all week. And so we hope everybody has a great vacation. And we hope nobody gets hurt on vacation. But if you do get hurt on vacation, some of the things you need to know are, that you can or will need to contact an attorney at some point in the area where you're injured, or contact a local attorney that has a connection with an attorney in that area, because you're going to need representation in the area where you're injured. And the law of that area is the law that's going to apply to the whatever event happened. So different states have different laws, but the law of the law where the incident happened is typically going to apply. And different states, are a little bit different. And so you want to make sure you've got somebody that understands the law in the venue where it occurred. Things, we talk about health insurance, and if you're injured out of town or out of network, make sure they know it's an emergency and that it's not, some type of, just some type of, elective type of thing. If it's an emergency, your health insurance should cover it.
I do believe we have a caller.
Okay, great.
Patricia, are you on the line? Hello, Patricia? Patricia, are you there?
Yes.
Go ahead with your question.
Yes. What is different? What is best for anyone, a will or a trust?
That's a good question. In most situations in Alabama, a will is perfectly capable of doing whatever you need to do at the time of your passing. It's less complicated than a trust, and you don't have to have a trustee. Sometimes, like a living trust can be very difficult to unwind when somebody passes. We tell everybody, if you're concerned about your how things go when you pass, sit down with a lawyer. And make a will, make a power of attorney so somebody can control your assets if something should happen to you. Make a health care power of attorney so somebody has the authority to make health care decisions for you if you can't make them. And then an advance directive, which is basically a document that tells your health care power of attorney what you want under certain circumstances. Those are the 4 planning documents you need. Now, a will sometimes may not even come into play if you have designated beneficiaries on your bank account, or it's held with right of survivorship, or you have property that's held with right of survivorship, and that just means that 2 people own it and it passes when one of them passes away. So there's lots of ways you can work around it, so you may not ever need to probate your will, but typically a will is the best document for the majority of people.
All right, thank you for that question, Patricia. If you don't already have your call in queue, our number is 256-536-0077. We can still take your call if you'd like to ask a question of Michael Timberlake. I have a question for you regarding people getting hurt on vacation. If you get hurt at a hotel or at an entertainment venue, usually those folks are immediately on the scene, somebody representing that, wanting to ask you questions, wanting to talk to you. Should you answer their questions, or should you hold off until you talk to a lawyer?
Well, it's kind of one of those situations. If an incident happens on a property and it's a corporation its own, you're going to need to file an incident report to explain to them, what happened. And that's going to be beneficial if you make a claim later, but you need to be careful about what you say. You need to explain how the incident occurred, but you're not a lawyer, so you don't want to get too in-depth in the detail.
Gotcha. I do believe we have another caller. Did I hear Troy? Troy, are you there? Hello, caller? One more time, caller, I believe. Are you here? Oh, I believe our caller hung up.
It's never happened to me
Unlucky,
before.
no, unlucky him.
But yeah, I mean, you know, so it's a little bit of one of those things. You want to make sure that the people are on notice of the way or the how an injury occurred, but you also want to be careful, especially in a premises situation where you don't make it obvious that it was, you know, you were at fault in some way, or it was a condition that was open and obvious and should have been seen. You don't want to get in detail about, you know, the specifics of what happened.
Gotcha. Talk about the blog before we go.
Yep. So if you have more information that you want, we have a blog. It's www.lawinjury.com. And basically, we outlaw a lot of things we talk about on the show in the blog. So if you have other questions, you can get into the specific topic that you're looking for.
All right, Michael, it's always a pleasure to have you.
It's great.
Look forward to it next time.
All right.
And we'll be right back.